Hello, afternoon, how's everyone doing? Are you having a good afternoon? Hopefully you are. Let me put you guys up here so I can talk to you properly and have both hands free. Here we go. How are you? What have you been up to since we last saw each other? Let me just refresh my Facebook so that I can get all your lovely comments up. How did you all do with yesterday's workshop, yesterday's challenge? How did you all get on? Hi Lynn, how you doing? Did you struggle with it? Did you find it quite easy? Was it hard to kind of picture in your head something from your quote, from your poem? Tell me, was it hard? Was it easy? How was it? Who've we got? Hi Emma, you having a break from work? Excellent. Break from work to be more creative. Love it. Hello Edith, hello Rosie, hello Pinkie Pie. Lynn, are you working today? Does that mean you're just watching? Does that mean you're just watching and join and catch up later? Hi Joe as well, nice to see you. Hello. I'm so glad that you're all here. We are going to be drawing words. Now, you may have already come up with a word first yourselves. That's fine. You can either work along with me. So I'm going to do 3 separate words. I'm going to show you how to do them. Or you can carry on and do your own words. But I'm going to do the first one. I think it would be good if you could join in with me for the first one. It would be great. Who else have we got? Hi Vicky. Hi Victoria. Hi Imogen and Esme. Tabitha and Jocelyn. Missed yesterday, you have to catch up. Yeah, have a look. The videos are all on Facebook. Have a look. Thank you so much. Somebody's noticed me. It's actually not a dress. It's actually a little jumpsuit, little play suit. So it's got like a culotte thing at the bottom. It's great. Thank you so much. Yes, I decided to dress up bright today, bright colours. So we got Matilda. Excellent. So we have our first word of today. We're going to be working on the word reflection. So this is a little bit of typography and a little bit of illustration. Typography is one of my favourite kinds of illustration. If you've ever been, I don't know if anyone's ever been to the Harry Potter studios over in London or outside of London. They have this massive cabinet and it covers an entire huge wall of all of the different texts and things that they use in the Harry Potter films. So from the newspapers to the letters that get sent from Hogwarts, to the books that are in there, all of the potions labels. What else? Dumbledore's will is in this big thing, and it's just incredible the work that goes into illustrating all of these different texts. Yeah, it's amazing to see. Anyway, who else have we got? Hello Chris and Sophie, hello Natalia. Oh, Natalia, hello Natalia. And Bo and Kitty, hello Helen. Right, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to work on the word reflection. Now, to make sure that all the letters are nice and even, I'm going to do this very simply. I'm going to use the width of my ruler, and I'm going to do it very lightly in pencil so that then later on you can go over in your black pen and it will make it really stand out. So we're just going to do all our workings out really lightly in pencil. So I'm going to use the width of my ruler for the word, and then I know that reflection's got 10 letters in, pretty sure. Yes, 10 letters in, that's a quick count up. So I'm just going to do it really simply, and each letter is going to be in an inch wide box. So let me lower you guys down so you can see what we are up to, she says, without trying to break the camera or the phone. So there we go, hopefully you guys can see. So I'm just going to use the width of the ruler and just do this along. So if you're using A4 paper, this is an A3 size paper, but if you're using A4, just turn it portrait wise. So I'm going to work landscape because I'm working on A3, but you'll need portrait size A4 if you're working along with me on this word. So I'm just going to go down to 10 inches and I'm going to mark off each inch just as a rough marker for where each letter is going. Okay, and then I'm going to just use the width of the ruler, so I'm going to draw down the other side of the ruler as well. And then very, very roughly mark off each inch up to the 10 inches, as we've got 10 letters. How are we doing? Hello from Josie. Hello Josie, you managed to join us. Excellent. So as I say, if you're using A4 paper, just work portrait. I'm working landscape because I've got lovely big A3 paper with me. So doing this just gives you a kind of grid to work from. I am overlapping these lines on purpose, which you will see because we are going to reflect our reflection. There we go, and just keep going along. Okay, so I'm going to do nice big letters for this one, I think. Nice big, bold, blocky kind of letters. So can you see that I've got a nice grid there going all the way along? Each one's an inch. If it's easier for you to do a slightly different measurement, then do a slightly different measurement. I'm just using it purely for ease because of the ruler and everything that I've got. So don't worry too much. So I'm going to use each one of these blocks to just mark out each one of the letters. And as I say, I'm going to use a nice big kind of block, and I'm going to do them quite close to each other, these letters. So, nice R. And I will hold this up to the camera so that you can see how nice and blocky I'm doing these. There we go. Okay, so hopefully you can all see that and you're all okay with that. And again, I'm just going to do this very, very roughly. Just sketching it out in this moment, and then later on I will go over it all in pen so it's nice and crisp and clean. So these are all kind of joined onto each other, these letters. I've got no spaces in between. This is where I suddenly realise that I've spelt something completely wrong or I've miscounted the letters, but hopefully I haven't. It'll be okay. There we go. So make sure you fill up those entire boxes that you've got there. Okay, so fill up the space. I have actually written the word in the corner there just so that hopefully I don't go wrong. She says I-O-N. I missed one off, see? I knew it would happen. I must have miscounted. So I'm going to very quickly add another inch worth of box on there. See, I knew this would happen. So hopefully you can all see that I'm nearly there. Okay. So I'm just going to add another inch box onto that end bit there. Here we go. So that I don't have reflectio or reflectio, and I actually have an N on the end there. So there we go. So I have my reflection all the way down. Are you guys finding it hard to see me? Let me just... Might be, because the camera's not actually clean. Is that better? Hopefully that's better for people to be able to see what I'm doing. So hopefully you've all got your reflection across the top of your page. Is everyone there with that? Has everyone managed to catch up? Because all we're going to do now is use the word Hold up, is that Charlotte? Don't worry, Charlotte, I'll wait for you to catch up. All we're going to do is use the word reflected. So we are going to make reflection look like it's reflecting. So once you've done your word all the way across the top, you are going to copy it and mirror it underneath, which is why I dragged those lines down a little bit further. Okay. So all we're going to do is, and it doesn't matter too much whether it's the right length as the other one. So the other one, do you remember we did it kind of the length or the width of the ruler? Doesn't matter too much. It's too sunny behind me. Is that what it is? There's too much sun. Or the camera's just dirty. Sorry about that, guys. Okay, so we're just gonna reflect these letters and mirror them underneath. Okay, so let me do this first one so that I can show you. And you just gonna do it as best you can. I'm gonna drag those lines down a little bit. And again, I'm just doing this very roughly for the reflection one. Don't worry too much about getting it perfectly mirrored. Just very roughly. Okay, so what you're going to do is start doing that underneath. So you're literally just mirroring all of those letters. Okay, so just mirroring them underneath. How's everyone getting on? Are you all getting on okay? Don't worry too much about getting the mirrored ones perfect. Really not worried. Because they're going to be, we're going to make them slightly different anyway when they all come out. Okay. How are we doing? It's definitely the sun. Is it the sun? I apologise, it's too sunny. It's too sunny where we are. Hopefully you guys can see a little bit of what we're doing. There we go. I didn't actually think it was that sunny outside. Maybe the sun's just at a slightly different angle, a slightly different point. There we go. So it's probably the fact that I'm working in pencil as well, and I am trying to draw very, very lightly, because what we don't want is big, heavy pencil lines that we have to then rub out later. Okay. So again, this is very, very roughly. Don't worry too much about this. And what we're going to do is just make this look like a reflection. So you know when you see things in the water as a reflection, let me hold you up again so you guys can see where I am. When you see something reflected in the water, it's a little bit kind of wobbly, isn't it? You don't quite see it all. So now that I've got my letters all reflected and mirrored underneath, okay, now that I've got all that there, what I'm going to do to the bottom half, so the ones underneath, is I'm going to draw some kind of ripples that you would normally see in the water. So I'm going to try and draw these a little bit harder with my pencil so that you can see them. But when you do them on your page, still draw them really lightly, because as I say, you don't want really like hard, heavy lines to then have to rub out later after you go over it. Okay, so I don't know whether maybe I'll do it. I'll lift you down so you can hopefully see a little bit of what I'm doing. But then I might have to lift it up again so you can see it. So what I'm going to do is go from here, and I'm just going to create some ripples. So again, I'll do these a little bit harder. So I'm going to bring that over there. And it doesn't really matter too much the shape of these. They can be any shape. Just bringing that round. So I'm just making these shapes up as I go along. Just do whatever feels kind of natural to you. might do a nice big circular one here. And just keep going all along the word. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to hold this up so you can see what I'm doing. Who's that? That's Charlotte, I think. You're doing the word fierce. Nice. So how are you going to make it look fierce? It could be like loads of fire and things coming out, or spikes coming out, make it look fierce. So hopefully you guys can see the lines that I'm drawing on top of that lower word, the mirrored word. Okay, are you all there? Are you all with me? You all okay? I appreciate I'm probably steaming ahead a little bit. That's because I want to do the other word as well. I want to do a second word with you guys. So I'm just going to keep going with my lines on top of here. And then what we're going to do is I'll go over with my pen so that then you can see what I mean. We're just going to use some of the word that's underneath. There's lots of hearts going on, so hopefully that means you're okay. Okay, there we go. So using these, hopefully you've drawn them a lot lighter than I have, but using these curves, what we're going to do is only go over the letter in every other bit of the ripple. Now I'm going to go over this in pen so that you can see what I mean of the ripples underneath. Okay, so let's lower you down and hopefully you'll be able to see what I mean. So every other ripple I'm going to use to draw some of the word. So I'm going to use this bit. And then this bit. And I'm going to miss out the bits on the other ripples that are going across. And again, it doesn't matter too much because this is the reflection. It doesn't matter too much if they are slightly wobbly, if they're slightly wonky. Don't worry too much. I'm gonna do that one. Okay, so I will show you, I will hold this up in a minute so that you can see what stage I'm at. This is where it gets tricky when you're trying to work out which bits you're doing. So, hopefully, have I done the wrong bit there? Yes. There we go. Hopefully you're all with me. Okay, so, oh Charlotte, you're still reflecting the letters. That's fine, it's absolutely fine. So when I start to rub this out now, you'll be able to see which bits I've left in. So I've just gone over in pen some of the kind of every other bit of the ripples. So when I start to rub out this bottom bit of the pencil, and you could, if you wanted to, go over pen of the actual ripples as well. But you'll be able to see some of those. Just get rid of that. Can you see how I've just got some of those letters there? Okay, so it's missing out the bits where you drew the ripples over. Hopefully everyone's got that. And then what you do is you go over in pen of the top one completely as a whole without any kind of missing bits, so that you've got a lovely, beautiful, strong block capitals at the top. And then all you can see underneath is just some of, it's the other end, isn't it? It's just some of the letter being reflected with ripples going through it. Hopefully you're all with me. Everyone's obviously concentrating and catching up because everyone's gone slightly quiet. So just click the heart button if you're with me, if you're okay. So I'm going to keep going with this bottom one just so that you can see what it's going to look like at the end without, hopefully, me missing out any letters or any parts, and hopefully taking out the right bits. That is the trick, remembering which bits you're taking out and which bits you're not. So, here we go. So the next word that we're going to do is the word hairy. So we're going to make the word hairy look hairy by using some dashes, which is a nice drawing technique. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to rub out this pencil over there, and then hopefully you can see all of those missing bits underneath. So I won't bother going over the top word at the moment because you guys know what it's going to look like. But the bottom word you'll be able to see. So this furious rubbing is why you should never sketch something that you're going to rub out really hard lines. But I wanted to do it so that you guys could see exactly what I was doing with the ripples. Okay, so can you see how you've only got some of those letters in there? As I say, if you wanted to, you can actually draw in the ripples as well. So you can actually draw in these lines that show where the gaps are, and definitely go over the top of the actual word at the top there as well in black pen. Cool. So hopefully you've all got that. Hopefully you're all doing okay. Don't worry too much if you haven't finished it. You can always finish it later, so that's not a problem. Okay, so the next word that we're going to use is hairy, and hopefully I can spell that one right. And again, all I'm going to do is block out inch by inch, just because it's easier to work that way on my ruler, and just use the width of the ruler. So again, I'm just going to mark that out on the page. So I'm going to do it slightly lower, so I've got a bit of space for my reflection. I'm just going to draw width of the ruler, and then hairy has 5 letters, she says. Hopefully I'll get it right this time. Let's lower you down so you can see what I'm doing. Here we go. And then I'm just going to do 5 inches down there. There we go. Mark off each inch, and then we've got 1 for each letter. So, just scroll grid. We're doing no reflections here, so it doesn't matter if you overlap or not of those lines. Here we go. So yeah, think about, after this, maybe think about what other words you could use. So obviously Charlotte's using the word fierce, but you could use like the word split and actually have the word splitting in half. You could do all sorts of things with words. Cloudy, try and make it the word cloudy look cloudy. I'm going to use some nice bubble writing in this one, and I am going to leave a gap in between each one of my letters. So I will hold this up again so that you guys can see this a lot more clearly. I'm going to use this nice and soft, and it's nice and curved, this one. What have we got? What is Stitch dressed up as today from Bo and Kitty? Stitch is reading a recipe book today, I don't know if you can see. He's reading a Mrs. Beeton's book of desserts. I think the baking fever has got to him today, so maybe he'll be baking this week, I feel. Hopefully it's something nice and chocolatey. Okay, so how are we all doing? How are you all doing? Have you got onto the word hairy yet, or are you still struggling with the reflection? How are you all doing? let me know. So I've just done some nice kind of simple bubble writing, just kept it nice and soft, nice and round. I've just realised I missed out the gap in the A. There we go. So just nice and soft, nice and round, nicely spaced, and all at the same height. How's everyone doing? Are we all good? So I'm going to lower you down so that you guys can see the kind of the dashing that I'm going to do on this, which is going to make our hairy look really hairy. Okay, so hopefully you guys can all see that. What I might do is just go over it in pen so that you can see it really clearly, very quickly. Now I'm going to show you in pencil first because I think it works better in pencil. Now I'm using quite a fairly hard pencil, so if anyone's got any pencil sets or anything, a nice hard pencil would be really good for this one. Okay, let's keep this going round. There we go. Hopefully you guys can see this a little bit better now that it's in pen. So what you're going to do is literally put the pencil on the page and flick it. And as you flick it, you get some really nice lines. So I'm just going to do it over here so that you can see what I mean. You get a really nice point at the end and you get a nice heavy start to it. And you can do this as short or as long as you like. So by flicking it, you create hair. Now it's entirely up to you. Obviously I've flicked this upwards. On the word, I'll probably flick it downwards so that it looks like hair coming down the word. Now if you do it with the pen, I've got some lovely fine liners, so it works just as well. And if you keep them all going in the same direction, you still get that really nice heavy point to start off with, and then it tapers off to a really nice thin point. So, what do we do? Charlotte's creating fire. Nice. Is that for your fierce? Very, very nice. So, all I'm going to do is start flicking downwards from the top. And I'm going to slightly follow the shape for this one as well, so that the hair goes in the direction of the shape. It's going to come off slightly at the sides as well. And this is a great way to do anyone that's drawing any pets or anything, any animal hair. It's a great way to do that as well. I'm going to have it all coming into the middle. There we go. How's everyone doing? Are we all doing okay? This is a lovely therapeutic thing to do as well, because you're repeating the same movement and the same thing, but you have to concentrate about where the direction of those are going, so it really focuses your mind. You don't have to worry and think about anything else. How are we doing? Victoria, you guys are doing the water. Excellent. You're doing the reflection of the water. Nicely done. It's a little bit messier that side than that side. There we go. A couple of hearts going there, so I'm assuming you guys are okay. So you can see that at the start, hopefully you guys can see that, it's starting to look very furry and very hairy. And then we'll just keep going with all the rest of the letters. Keep flicking away with your pen to get those really nice marks where you get a really nice point at the end. We've written lockdown and house. Oh, how are you going to decorate lockdown? This is what I'm saying. You can do this with so many different words. Brilliant, Bryony. She's got lockdown. So if you were doing lockdown, maybe you could make the word out of like loads of keys. or lots of padlocks hanging off or things like that. That would be great. Fabulous idea. And house, you could do each word with like little chimneys coming out, make them look like they're made out of bricks. That would be awesome. I can't wait to see those. That sounds great. So I'm going to finish this off and photograph it so that you guys can all see properly how this is finishing. Hopefully you guys are doing okay with yours. I cannot wait to see them, especially if there's something different for the reflection or hairy. So have a go at, maybe once you've done these, if you are following me and doing these, if you're doing another word, do a third one and show me how it looks. That would be great to see. It'd be awesome to see. Take a photograph, pop it in the comments. Once you're done, I will photograph this one and pop it in the comments once I'm done. Tomorrow we are going to be using our illustration and our typography skills to create our own advertisement and design our own packaging. So tomorrow you'll need pens and pencils, whether it's felt tips are nice because they work big and bright, or whether it's colouring pencils, that's absolutely fine. And obviously a normal pencil to draw it with as well. You will need some kind of box. So whether it's like a cereal box or some kind of food packaging or something like that, absolutely fine. And then you're going to turn it inside out. So you've got to open it very, very carefully, take it apart very carefully, and then turn it inside out like this one here. Okay. If you've got, you can use, Ed got one of these little egg boxes with chocolate eggs in over the weekend. If you've got one of those, that would be great to use as well. So it's entirely up to you. Some kind of box, some kind of packaging, but make sure that it's either plain like this one, or you've turned it inside out so that you've got plain edges and plain sides for us to be able to design on. So that's what we're doing tomorrow. Some kind of advertising, marketing, designing, packaging. Felt tip pens will work best, but colouring pencils are cool as well. That's no problem. So that's what we're doing tomorrow. Oh, Josie, you're doing your name. Fantastic. How would you draw Josie, the word Josie? That would be awesome to see. I cannot wait to see all these. I will see you guys at 2 PM tomorrow. With hopefully your box or Easter egg box or some kind of box that's inside out. And we'll do some more illustration tomorrow. Thank you so much for joining us, guys. Have a great evening. Have a great rest of the afternoon. Hopefully you're finishing all your chocolate eggs off and enjoying those. Have fun. See you later. Bye.